begins with a young couple who seem to have an ideal relationship. Simon, a cartoonist, and Fabienne, who is the director of an art gallery, are the protagonists. One day, Simon decides to go celebrate his father's birthday, taking the opportunity to introduce his girlfriend to his family. When he arrives at his childhood home, he finds his father, Carl, a renowned psychologist, praying alongside friends and relatives. Simon also notices the presence of a woman named Sonja, whom he had not seen before. Simon's mother warmly welcomes them and invites them to join the celebration. While some guests sample the food, several others begin pressing them with questions about why Simon had chosen to walk away from medical school altogether. At that moment, his father speaks up, pointing out that his son is an artist and that he is destined for success. Fabienne, for her part, tells them that Simon has received a nomination for an award for his work. Later, while Simon helps his mother in the kitchen, she reveals that she needs help with Carl's new book, since she feels a great burden on her shoulders. However, Simon replies that he is too busy with his art. Just then, he notices that his father is alone with Sonja. Intrigued, Simon asks one of his father's friends about the woman, and he explains that she is Carl's new secretary. A short time later, his mother begins to suffer an attack, and Simon runs to help her, worried because he believed those episodes had already been left in the past. It is revealed that his mother used to suffer from these episodes, but it had been a long time since she had gone through one. Simon and Fabienne discuss the events of the celebration, and the next day, they meet so Simon can show her his new sketches for the exhibition scheduled in 3 weeks. However, Fabienne does not seem satisfied with his drawings. At that moment, his mother interrupts and asks him to speak with her alone. She begs him to help her transcribe his father's book, but Simon refuses, claiming that he must focus on finishing his sketches. His mother begs him to do it, because she wants to go on vacation with Carl, her husband, fearing that if she does not get his support, he will go with Sonja, his lover. Finally, Simon agrees to help her, although Fabienne doesn't like the idea, fearing it will affect her project at the gallery. However, Simon assures her he can finish everything on time. Simon arrives at the family office, where his father explains in detail how he must carry out the transcription of the lectures. In a conversation, Carl reveals to Simon that he is in love with Sonja, which saddens Simon. When his parents say goodbye and leave, Simon starts working on the transcription. That night, he attends the awards ceremony where he has been nominated, but in the end he is not selected. Fabienne tries to comfort him, reminding him that the jury does not understand art. Next day, Simon continues with the transcription. During lunchtime, Sonja approaches him and mentions that he does not understand art. When he returns home, Simon tries hard to draw, but he cannot find inspiration, so he chooses to distract himself by talking with his roommate. Next morning, he hears Sonja having a phone argument with Carl, in which she says that she feels manipulated. At that moment, Simon receives a call from his father, who warns him not to talk with Sonja about anything unrelated to work, so as not to complicate his relationship. Later, one of Carl's assistants reveals to Simon that Sonja had been his father's patient, which awakens his curiosity. Further on, a young woman arrives looking for Carl, but Sonja rudely sends her away. At the end of his workday, Simon looks for the USB drive for the transcriptions and finds Sonja crying. He offers her tissues and, in an unexpected gesture, she hugs him and kisses him. Simon leaves, confused. Next day, he tries to concentrate on his work, but he cannot stop thinking about the kiss. He decides to clear the matter up with Sonja and asks her if the kiss meant anything. She replies that it was just an impulse. Later, when Sonja leaves, Simon chooses to investigate more about her past life and looks for her files as his father's patient. However, just when he is about to read them, someone knocks on the door. When he opens it, he finds a delivery man bringing a bouquet of roses from his father for Sonja. Annoyed, Simon throws the flowers into an empty lot. Afterward, he discovers that Fabienne is trying to hire the same artist who won the award, which causes him discomfort. Upon his return to the office, Sonja asks him, visibly irritated, about the roses, to which Simon responds that he has no idea. At that moment, he hears his father putting him down, considering him a failure with mental problems, which enrages him. He confronts Sonja, accusing her that his father sees her the same way he sees him, as someone lacking ability. Simon decides to take the train, and when he arrives at the gallery where Fabienne works, he finds her organizing the space with the new artist. Just then, his father calls him, reproaching him for the problems he has caused. Simon replies that he quits, but his mother convinces him to continue for her sake. However, Fabienne informs him that his works have been removed from consideration, and that he is no longer part of the team. When he returns to the office, he finds Sonja looking for the key to the files to verify the information Simon had exposed to her about how his father perceived her. Simon gives her the files that he had not been able to read earlier, and when he comes back, he finds her sad after reading Carl's comments about her. As he approaches to comfort her, Sonja kisses him passionately and suggests going somewhere more private. Simon follows her to a room where they share an intimate moment. At the end of the workday, Sonja offers to drive him home. Before saying goodbye, she mentions that they can see each other whenever he wants, which fills Simon with joy. However, everything changes when his roommate mentions that Fabienne is getting closer to the new artist. That night, Simon and Fabienne arrive at a party where she is having fun. Seeing Simon downcast, Fabienne kisses him. Filled with guilt, Simon confesses that he had relations with Sonja, which breaks Fabienne's heart. Disappointed, she declares that there is no way to recover their relationship and leaves. After her departure, Simon receives a message from Sonja inviting him to her apartment. Without thinking, Simon quickly heads there. She leads him to her room where they have relations again. Sonja, who had prepared a dinner, invites him to the table. After enjoying dinner and talking, Simon wakes up alone and finds a note from Sonja that says she will return soon. Shortly afterward, Simon gets a surprise when he sees his father enter the apartment. Carl is surprised to find his son and quickly understands the situation. He shares with Simon that Sonja has always wanted to have a child, and since he cannot give her that, they have faced many complications. That moment, Sonja enters and kisses Simon in front of his father, then asks him to leave. While Simon gets ready to go out, Sonja asks him whether he revealed anything to his father before she arrived. He replies that he has told the truth, and that what happened between them was a form of revenge against his father, not for love. Sonja admits that her purpose was to take revenge on both Carl and Simon. Everything begins to spin in Simon's mind, and when he returns to his apartment, he receives a call from his mother, who informs him that Carl will move in with Sonja. At that moment, his mother suffers another attack and Simon runs to help her. However, she blames him for having made the situation worse, believing that he is responsible for Carl leaving her. This heavy feeling crushes Simon, who feels that he has caused all of this. Simon tries to reconcile with Fabienne and begs for her forgiveness, but she insists that he stay away and accept that the relationship is over. He returns to his apartment, destroys all his works, and suffers an attack that takes him to the hospital. His father visits him and confesses that he never intended to ruin him with his personal life, but Simon replies that he has ruined his mother's life, causing her to lose her mind. Carl assures him that he truly loves his mother and has always wanted to be with her, but he also feels the same for Sonja. Months later, Simon has re-enrolled in medical school and attends the presentation of his father's new book. There, he realizes that Sonja is expecting a baby, and his mother informs him that she will take care of Carl's child since Sonja will not be able to do so. Finally, Simon returns home for another family gathering. Sonja hands him her baby, and as he looks at it, Simon can only conclude that she manipulated everything the whole time to satisfy her own desires and those of his father. Thus, our story ends. Choose one of these videos if you think this story was intense. Wait until you see the next one.